and I lost 38 pounds since June 30th, and I will be 3 years in May 7th, I believe it is, smoke-free. It doesn't even enter my mind anymore. And that's a 56-year addiction. I would join any of your programs, Nasia. That's how much I trust you and your caring about how these programs are helping people transform. I can see into the 90s, whereas I always thought, okay, pretty soon I'm going to be, just not here anymore. And now I just see myself going into my 90s. I mean, that's just a miraculous thought to me.
Hi, everyone. This is Nasia Davos, and welcome to this episode of Ask an X. Every Ask an X episode features an inspiring story of a CBQ program member who broke up with destructive habits and found freedom. The X I have with me today achieved food freedom with the CBQ program, and she's here to share her story. Please welcome Mary Anne DiNublia. Mary Anne, welcome, and congratulations on your success.
Thank you, Nasia. I really appreciate it. I'm really very grateful to this program for my success, and to you and your team who are so supportive and were just there. I'm really doing well. I am just so grateful for you and these programs, the food freedom, quitting smoking. My 3-year anniversary is coming up in May.
I know.
And I am just feeling so myself, my true self. There's nothing in my body poisoning it anymore. So I feel like there's a real me that has come out. It's not affected by the preservatives in foods, sugars, cigarettes, alcohol. I mean, I just think you're a miracle worker. You've changed my life. And so that's the long answer. I feel well.
I'm so happy. And it's been an honor and a pleasure. I've told you before that I love having you in the programs because you're really doing the work. And I'm really excited today to really share your story and where you were before, what you achieved, because I know it will inspire many people because you have an inspiring story, and you as a person, you're very, very inspiring. So that's why I'm excited for today.
Thank you, Nasia. I never thought of myself that way. Thank you. But it helps to have someone like you to inspire. I feel like you did all the work to create these programs. I feel like I just had to follow the directions. And I do want to say something that I really wanted to tell you. When I was going through the smoking cessation program, a few weeks in, I sort of lost interest. I was just getting over pneumonia. I really didn't think I could do it after 56 years. And I said, I just put it aside. And I got an email from your team within 4 days saying they noticed I hadn't been in the program. And I was like, wow, I am not alone at all. They are actually invested in my success. And I was really taken aback by that. And then it just made me fully commit to the program because of that, it was the caring, I think, I wasn't alone. So that was sort of like the beginning of this transition of my life, is having the pneumonia, really being sick, not being able to breathe, not being able to move, not being able to do my yoga. And it was very, very dark, depressing time, very dark.
Yeah.
So when I succeeded with that after 56 years, I felt so empowered that I could do anything. I was just feeling so free and relaxed from not having all that nicotine hyping me up. So when you offer the food freedom programs, September, I just trusted you. I knew it would work because I quit smoking through your other program. So I definitely trusted you to help me lose the 48 pounds, 38 pounds that I so yeah.
Yeah. And so if you were to take me back, what was your relationship with food like in your life, throughout your life?
When I started diet pills at 15 years old, we used to be able to get them from our local doctor. Back then, that was you could do that, and
Wow.
then they outlawed those diet pills. That's how dangerous they were. So I went to bulimia, you know, regurgitating food, and because of that it was starvation. Then I learned that alcohol quelled my appetite, so I went drinking, another bad habit. So all my life, my weight was up and down, and starvation. Had no clue about bad foods or good foods, or my whole focus was just on weight. And then as I got older, you know, those issues went aside, and I just used control. I was probably in my 40s by then, and I just controlled all of my, and periodically would have to binge because it's so stressful to controlling that. Um, and I used cigarettes. Cigarettes also quelled my appetite, so I did that well for 56 years. And I don't know, I got used to just controlling it, and I thought I was eating healthy by the time I was in my 50s. I was doing a lot of stir fries, like 3 ounces of like chicken, and then this vegetables with a ton of rice. And I had no idea how my grains were. So it was hard. I'd have to skip. And then, of course, I tried every day. The last one was the keto. And that was so stressful to stay on. I just went back to just controlling and exercising and just all of these unsustainable ways until this program. My relationship with food is I have no desire for sugar. I have no desire for rice or pasta anymore, which surprised me. I ate that daily. And I just started seeing food because I developed through the program this respect and love for my body. Can to see food as fuel for my body and not want to put any poisons in it, the preservatives that are in the food, the hidden sugars that are in the food, the and all these other hidden sugars names. It's this whole list of unrecognizable foods. So you did teach us to read ingredients now. So if it's more than three, I'm not even going to go for it. Uh, like my cottage cheese is the milk, the cream, and the salt. The thing, not the gar gum or all those gums and things that they put in it. So I just my whole relationship with food now is I enjoy eating. I eat slow. You taught us to eat slow and mindfully. So I don't watch TV. I don't do anything. I'm eating my food. I'm gazing out the window. Well, I'm tired, so I can do this, by the way. I can sit at my window and look out at the mountains and the trees, and put on some relaxing music just to keep me focused on my eating and put down my fork. I think one of our members on our Facebook group, and I love our Facebook group. They are just so supportive because
Yes.
I get ideas from them, one member said they put down their fork. And so now when I'm eating, while I'm chewing, really chewing, I put down my fork or spoon or whatever it is. And yeah, the mindfulness it's amazing because now food tastes better. You know, and I'm actually present for it.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
that's not how you were eating all your life before, right?
not at all. Not at all. I would eat very fast just to get it over with because I really didn't like the need, believe it or not. It was a pain because it meant weight. Food was, I just saw it as a way to put on weight, but I wanted to stay healthy. So I, would eat and just fast and get it over with. I wouldn't really enjoy it, except when I binged. I have to say, because I was an emotional eater, my binge was ice cream. I would have to, when I really wanted to soothe or comfort myself, I would just get a gallon of ice cream and just eat like a quarter of it, maybe almost a half. And that was the only time I was ever really connected to food. But I learned from you. In fact, I have you have no idea how many post-it notes I have here. One thing you said, which I wrote down, is comfort is in the ritual, not the food. That's huge to me, Nasia. I don't eat for comfort anymore. And that brings me to the basic human needs you taught us. It's like, what do I really want? So with my body working with me now, I go to my 6 human needs that you told us about and ask what it is, because it's always one of those: certainty, connection, love. It's always one of those, not the food. And 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 then I liked how I'm sorry if I'm babbling, but I'm just like,
No, you're
I'm so
sharing
pleased.
amazing, amazing advice.
I'm so pleased with the program and the changes. It's like teaching me that where hunger is in the body. My hunger was always in my head, my thought of a food or my taste buds. I never thought to check in with my stomach. And that's where true hunger is. That was another amazing thing to me. Just everything about the program, all these little things that you taught us, and getting us to be aware of where we're at and why we use food. Why we eat, how we eat, when we eat. All those becoming aware of that was huge in setting that baseline for changing it. Because again, yeah, with awareness, you can change. If you're blind to it, you can't, you
Right.
know?
Absolutely. We cannot change what we're not aware of. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
And
you're so right.
there was another one too. We can't change what we think we already know.
Yes.
So if we think we already know it, we're not going to learn the new. So you laid everything out there. All I had to do was follow the program.
Mary Anne, that's incredible. And you know what? To go from really a lifetime of having a bad relationship with food, from bulimia, alcohol, cigarettes, diets, control, having negative associations with food because it meant putting on weight and you didn't want that, having that being such a pain, such a thorn on your side, to now telling all those things that you're enjoying food, you're eating well, you eat to nurture your body, you're not eating emotionally anymore. This is huge. I
It
have a
is huge.
question. Now, in this process, because the program is 12 weeks, so
Yeah.
a fairly long process, did you ever feel deprived? And do you ever feel deprived now with the changes you've made?
There was one time in the very beginning, I don't think I really was deprived. I think I was testing it. So I went out and bought, instead of a gallon of ice cream, a pint of ice cream. And I absolutely did not enjoy it. Even though I ate it, that was the clencher for me that I was thinking I was deprived, but I wasn't deprived. I was telling myself. I have never felt deprived otherwise through the program. Not deprived because you do say you can have it. There is no like not able to have it. And that thing with the ice cream, like allowing myself a test to have it and see how I really felt after it. So yeah, no, I honestly not deprived at all because I know if I want something, if I want, I can go have it. In fact, over the holidays, I did give in and have some sugar. It did create cravings though that week. I gotta tell you, I wasn't happy with that because sugar creates cravings for more sugar. So that's a trap. But I allowed myself to have it and then got right back to my baseline because of you telling us to decide how long we would ourselves deviating to get back to a baseline. And mine was 1 day. And I did that. And I don't feel deprived. I can have anything I want. It's like the question is, do I want it? Or if I think I want it, it's like, well, if I think I want it, it's not food. What else do I really want or need? It's just being honest with myself.
Yes.
That's really what it's about, being honest with myself. And then you just start to feel really good. With the experiments, I love those weekly experiments. And I love my BioBoost. I will not start my day without my BioBoost. And I don't even add anything to it because except once in a while, a pea protein, but I love the flavor of the ginger and the lemon. It's so clean in the morning, but anyway, but my point is the experiments.
Yeah.
When we did the experiment with the giving up sugar for a week, when I went back, my BioBoost the apple was too sweet. Green apples, which are not sweet, was too sweet. And that changed my whole idea around sugars and even fruits. I think I'm getting off track. I'm not sure.
Because also there is a difference between I understand something intellectually and I've experienced it. Because when
Yeah.
you actually experience it, it becomes part of our paradigm shift.
Yes.
Not anymore something I know, but it's part of how I now see things. And that's where transformation happens. That's why I'm glad you mentioned the experiments, because they're a big part of this program. It's not just eat this, know this,
Exactly.
it's also
Right.
experience this. Yeah.
But also, you really do, you give us, informing us about the bad oils and the preservatives and all of these things that the food companies put in our food to make it addictive. And when I got rid of that kind of food, I don't have any cravings. All there is true hunger. I can feel I don't know what the sort of like whatever it is in my stomach. It's sort of like a light pang. But all the other stuff, the preservatives, the hidden sugar, those were creating cravings. And my Splenda, which I used a lot of, and sugar substitutes, they create more of a craving for sugar. They absolutely do, which is why when I baked, I went back to using brown sugar, thinking it was healthier than white. But it was a huge wake-up call when I learned in this program that I had refined my body to the point where I was aware of how the foods affected me. And Splenda created a subtle craving for sugar. It was amazing. I didn't realize that. And once I gave that up, sugar cravings gone. Not a one now, Nasia. That's huge for me because I did eat a lot of sugar, brown sugar, thinking it was healthier. Imagine that.
Yeah. Yes. And you're not alone thinking that, because maybe brown is better than white, but for our body, it is sugar after all. And when we start developing that dependence, that addiction to sugar, to refined grains, then it's a slippery slope, isn't it?
Yeah, there was another thing. The rice and pasta made me hungry a few hours later. And I was thinking I was eating healthy with, stir fry vegetables but a lot of white rice. Although I did eventually switch to brown rice, thinking again it was healthier.
Yeah.
But okay. Yeah, there's just so much to talk about. I was trying to go through my notes this morning. This program, I printed a lot of stuff because I like to see and write. And that's huge for me. But I can get off track because I'm like still dealing with all of this new energy and learning to emotionally regulate, which you give us the tools to do. By the way, on that, breathing and cold water on my face are my favorites for getting myself self-regulating my emotions back to calm me down. Really, it's just I'm
So
73 years old, and I have a new life right now. A new life.
How incredible is that?
Yeah, thanks to you. It is very incredible. You and your team in our Facebook group, and it was a combination of the group, but really you're just a amazing wizard to be able to create a program that at 73 I was able to quit smoking and get back in shape. And I've tried everything else. I just think you're a miracle worker. I sincerely do. I don't, plus I know you've been there. I think that helps.
Of
You've
course.
been through this, which is how you created these programs. So you're not like someone who's out there looking in. You were there.
Yes.
And I think that's where the power comes from. You created this from your own experience. And that's powerful. And we're proof.
Perfect. Yes, I agree with you. Having had those experiences and the ability to create a process that other people can follow, this is very important. But most importantly, Mary Anne, it's what you achieved, because you were telling me, I know we've talked about this before, all this new energy you have.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like
Yeah.
talking too much and very much more animated than I usually am, but it's okay because this is the next step in my transformation is learning to hone or focus the energy. So, and I'm doing that, but I do like you gave us these tools, the mindset techniques. I think that's what it was called. And I liked this one where working on my vagus nerve.
Yes.
And I breathe. But I do love the cold water. For some reason, it's just I could do that for more than the 10 to 30 seconds you say, because I'm also breathing. There's something about it that creates a deep breathing, which is surprising. But I do start out with warm water and work up. You know what I mean? Just that helps me because I don't know, just the idea of throwing cold water on my face at first didn't appeal. But I started with warm one day and then I started just putting up to colder and colder. And before you know it, it's like now, like I will never give that up as a technique to relax myself.
Great.
Which is another thing you taught us. See things as an experiment, and look at things in a positive way. That's another thing. I used to be a very negative, pessimistic person and had a lot of fears. Yes, mistrustful. I think it was all the poisons in my body, number one, because when I let go of the nicotine, I became a different person. But really, my mindset now is just I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go into negative states. That's my joker trying to just hijack my life. And I use my sage, which you taught us as the wise person. And I like the idea of separating from them, keeping them, because it's like out there looking in. Somehow I don't feel like it's in me, or it's like I lose control because it's like in me. It's like out there, and I can observe and choose which one. It's separation. I think that's how you explained it. You separate from it. You separate from the thought. It's
Yes,
not
so
me.
you
You
get distance.
separate.
Yes, you don't
Create distance. That's the wording you use. That's right.
not identifying with our thoughts, or at least
Exactly.
being intentional with the thoughts we choose to identify with. That gives us more power. And Marianne,
And it
yeah, I'm
and it
hearing you
does.
say that you're choosing more empowering thoughts, that you have all this energy, and the contrast with how you and where you used to be. This is big, because I know you were telling me you were in a really dark place in your life before even quitting smoking, right?
I was very, 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 very dark. All my life I'd had struggled with depression, but I think that's, the emotions I couldn't handle, the alcohol, the nicotine, that was all poisoning me and my thoughts. And I would get very dark. I mean, I don't want to say this, but I thought about ending life, but I would do that to my family. You know what I mean? I had a depression since, well, I should say after I quit smoking, I did have a depression, but it's because I began eating a lot of sugar. And the sugar was making me depressed. Looking back, I see it now in hindsight. But yeah, I had like the first 6 months when I quit smoking, I really did have it was a struggle, but I just kept going back to the tools you gave us. That's what made it work. And I don't even remember what those are anymore, Nasia, but you created the tools that I had something else to grasp onto rather than a cigarette. And then there was this like, I am not going back to that. There is no way, not after being freed from it for after 6 years. But yes, and then that's when I realized the sugar was making me also depressed. Yeah, once cleaned up that, now I just good. Every morning I wake up grateful, grateful to be alive. I really every morning. And then you gave us ritual to do in the morning. It was three things. And one of it was I just sit in gratitude. I really do, and I just say a prayer and be grateful for my new. And I write whatever it is. It could be an intention, a feeling, whatever it is. I do a paragraph of that, and then I do my yoga, and those three things, and then I do my bio boost after my yoga, and then I feel like I have done everything that is the best I can within like 3 hours in my morning. So I know the rest of the day I can handle, or it will be good. But if anything should arise, I can handle it. So no more depressions.
That's incredible, isn't it?
It is incredible. It just shows the power of what food does to the body, how food is healing to the body and the mind,
And
and
you're
what a
doing so many
poison.
things right. Yes. The food, you changed your eating habits, you changed your thinking habits, right? So you changed so much. And I'm so happy to hear that you're doing well, and you're happy, you feel empowered, you trust yourself more, you honor your body.
Yes.
Huge congratulations.
Thank you, Nasia, but thank you for the program. You gave me all the tools to do this. And I continue to use them and read through my notes, but I haven't gotten distracted by it. The program was so powerful. It's like it's all ingrained and integrated. into my mind and my body. It is a part of me. This was a true transformation that I totally didn't expect. But I did in a way with this because it was with the smoking cessation program. I really didn't know. But with that, faith in that and trust that that worked, I just sort of knew this would. If I just follow the program, it's that simple. It's not always easy, but it's simple if you just stay committed. And that's the other thing. You have us even write a commitment letter to ourselves in the beginning. It's like you cover everything.
Yeah.
You know, the beginning where we learn about our habit, we make our commitments and get to know our body, and sort of like setting the stage for the second part, which is creating new habits and undoing the old ones. And then that's where all the tools, come in. And there's 4 sets. I forget what the third was. The third, I think, was the mind, setting the mind, working on the mind of the behaviors.
The second stage, which is weeks 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I just, they're all intermingled in my mind.
Of course.
I just remember them, sort of like the process, having gone through the process.
Yeah.
But the mind stuff, oh, that is huge. I am so careful with the words I use. I never speak ill of myself or my body. I don't say, oh, you're stupid. I never use that term anymore.
But you,
Words are
in the past,
so
used to use
powerful.
that?
Oh, yeah, you dumb idiot. What did you do that for? I mean,
Oh,
I used to talk to myself like that. I just did, just conditioned. And you've taught us not ever to use those kind of negative words on ourselves. It really, the mind, changing the mind, and how I mean, I have Post-its all over to remind me. It's, oh my God. Yeah, I have so many Post-its plus on my bathroom mirror, but yeah,
brilliant. So
it's
you
just so
created,
powerful.
yeah, and you created an environment for yourself so you can have
That,
those positive triggers to
yeah,
remind you what you want to be thinking about or thinking
yes,
more of.
yes.
That's amazing.
I'm telling you, you've changed my life. And this, all of this information can be used in any aspect of my life. So I feel like it's like I'm growing. I'm 73 years old. I thought I was going to be going downhill. I am going uphill. I don't even feel related to that person that I was. I empathize with her. I'm kind to her, but I feel like, okay, that was that part of my life. Now I'm going in a new direction. This is just miraculous stuff to me. It really is.
It's incredible. You had such an amazing journey. You did the work, you showed up. And I know that in the program, the Food Freedom Program, because it's 12 weeks and we take small steps, small changes,
Yeah,
gradual changes. Sometimes we get impatient, we don't know what's coming next, but you stayed and did every step and followed the process. And you really, really, really showed up for yourself. And we have to say that. You showed up for
yeah,
yourself in this process. You didn't just sit back and expect things to change. You showed up for yourself, and as a result of this, now you're having a completely different experience with food, with yourself, and like you said, with life. So that's the gift for
yeah.
doing the work. Yes.
Well, one of the things you taught us, and I learned that in the smoking one, progress, not perfection. That was huge
Absolutely.
to me because I was a perfectionist. It's like if you don't do it, if you're going to do something, do it right. I was always beating myself up for not being perfect. That's just not there anymore. And you also reminded us the importance of showing up. It's sort of like if I didn't feel like it or I wasn't in a good mood, show up anyway. And I did that and I found my moods would shift. So you're a good teacher, Nasia. You know, those things all I really think deeply about those things. You're a wise teacher, and you have this positive outlook that is contagious. And I'm tired of being negative and stuck and depressed, and so I'm like still on high, literally on high. And that's where the emotional regulation I'm learning comes in.
Love it. Love it. And so you had so many benefits and transformations as a result of going through this process. Can you tell me what they are? I know you already mentioned some, but if you were to list the top 5 transformations benefits you experienced as a result of this process, what would those top 5 be?
Well, the benefit of the program, like the results,
what you experienced, yes.
What I will love myself. That's huge. Okay. That's number one. I feel so confident and have such a belief and trust in myself that I never had before. That's because my sage is out doing my joker. Um, the benefits. I'm trying to think of benefits rather than how I got there.
That's okay. If something else comes to your mind, you can.
Okay, yeah, but I get, because of my energy,
That's okay.
My mind can go off. I just feel my weight is down. The result of that, I went through my closet. I cleaned up my closets, and I washed all my clothes and make sure there's no smoke or anything on them. And I'm fitting my thin clothes. I mean, that's joy. That's an absolute joy. I exercise again. I don't lay around. I stay in motion, which is another biggie. I don't take naps anymore because I feel so good. I used to take a nap every day. I used to be really tired. I used to go to bed at like 8 o'clock. I still go to bed around 8, but now I'm at 5. I do sleep well. I sleep really well. I don't wake up in the night except to have, use the bathroom because I drink so much water, which you taught us. That's another thing. If I'm feeling a little tired, drink water now. I used to go take a snack. I don't snack anymore at all. I really eat 2 meals a day, one in the morning, one around 12:30, because I find if I eat food later in the day, I just can't sleep. It wakes me up with energy in the middle of the night. So that but I used to graze and snack through the day. Don't do that at all anymore. I just eat my really good healthy meals, and they sustain me. Oh, what else? I'm active. I'm doing more. I'm fixing things around my house. Is this the right thing you're
Yes,
looking for?
absolutely.
Okay. Benefits. There's so much more though. It's just hard to find them. I am so grateful all the time. I just feel so happy and grateful to be alive, but to feel this happy and grateful. You know, um, I'm becoming more social. I was a ruse. Um, I really just had to deal with people. I didn't feel good, I think. So, but I feel good now, so I'm just more social. I'm still not one to get involved with all these groups. I'm a nicer person, and we'll say or talk or, so that could change. Oh, there's so much more. It's hard to think of them all, Nadia.
I mean, what you shared is incredible because you lost 38 pounds. You
Yeah.
joined the program to lose 30 and you lost 38, and you did that without feeling deprived, without dieting, and while eating healthy. You're moving more,
Yeah.
you're feeling confident, you're more social. So many changes. You have more energy, you
Yeah.
feel hope for the future.
Yes. Yes.
Incredible.
Yes. Yes. And I like the program that it didn't just stop, that you had we have the after calls,
Yeah.
because I was actually in a panic.
Oh,
I
really?
remember we were in a panic, and there was, I forget, I had an experience. I forget what it was. I think it was around Thanksgiving or something. And I was just in fear. And I haven't been feeling any fear. This program released my fears. And you told me to trust myself and my body. And I
I
thought,
remember that.
wow, how simple. And I do that now. I just trust myself. I go into my body. I don't listen to my mind. I go into my body. And I trust myself. I just trust myself to know what I need, and I'll do my best. Again, progress, not perfection, because I wouldn't start things because it's like if I was afraid it wouldn't be perfect, so I'd delay, put it off, that sort of thing. So, but I was glad about the after calls because I feel like it's weaning me off. I stopped the food log, which I love. The food log. I love the smoking log. I love that because it really puts me in touch with what I am feeling. Why am I wanting this? What are you feeling? It's just, that was phenomenal for me. The food log and the smoking log, they were really phenomenal because it just puts you in touch with it. It pauses you, it slows you down so you have time to think, do I really want this? Or, what am I really wanting? Am I really hungry? Or did I really want that cigarette? That was huge. The food log and the smoking log. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, so I don't still didn't want to really let go, even when this program, the after calls ends. So that's when I signed up for your wellness courses. And I've been like listening to the ones from before, but they're so powerful. It's like you take us through this whole all your programs. They take you little by little through the transformation to get to the other side of where you want to be, which is why you would sign up for the programs to quit smoking, to lose the weight. And for me, the wellness is the education and to change more of my brain, and I continue to grow. So yeah, there's just so much. I have to calm myself down because
Glad you're enjoying the Wellness Masterclass,
oh,
the
I love
membership.
it. I love it, really. Well, I love all your programs.
I've loved creating them as well. And especially with the Wellness Masterclass, I think those classes are powerful because it's just a big topic condensed in 90
Yeah,
minutes that allows you to get something out of it. I think that's one. The second is we have an amazing, amazing group. So the people who join the live calls, I think they make the whole experience so much better because of being honest and open and engaged. So it creates such a special experience.
it's a very supportive environment.
Yeah.
It's like, on Facebook, I'm really not a person to go onto Facebook, but just because I don't like all that chaos and stuff, but our groups are so supportive. And they have empathy because I think everyone is going through, the same thing. But as far as the wellness, I joined in December, so that one was for the transition into the new year.
Yeah.
But you take us through a process in 1.5 hour call that creates this change after 1.5 hours. It's like you implant this something in the brain, and then it's to like, yes, here, oh, okay, I get it. It's like you plant a seed and then it grows. That's the magic of that. It's planting the seed. It's amazing. I'm just amazed.
I'm 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 grateful to have you there. And back to the food freedom,
Yes.
I actually remember when you sent that email and you told me I am afraid what's going to happen next, and I have that, which you're not alone. I've heard this many times many times over the years when a cohort ends. But I remember I answered on the live call, the live Q&A call, and I told you, and you saw you're not alone thinking that. There were many other members, to trust yourself, because ultimately, that's what we want. We
Yes,
don't want to rely on anyone or
right.
anything, but internalize that trust. Yeah, that we learn to develop throughout the process. So thank you for sharing that, because that's very useful for everyone listening as well. It's not about following that diet or that guru or even that program. This program is
Exactly.
about learning to follow ourselves and have that lead us in a direction of health.
But also, Nasi, you need a clean body to be in touch with your instincts and your knowing. That was a big, powerful
Yes,
thing. I mean,
absolutely.
the poisons I was putting in, the cigarettes and the alcohol and the bad food, that just confuses your thinking. It's hard to have confidence when it's throwing you off, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's my belief, for me anyway, because I am a sensitive person. I'm very sensitive to things I put in my body or my mind. I'm just like it's like everything hits me pretty deeply. So I have to be careful what I allow in my body and mind, But you're right. You give us the tools to develop the self-confidence to trust ourselves and be able to listen to ourselves.
Yes.
You
While
know?
cleaning out our body,
Yes,
to your
yes,
point.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Both of those things need to happen.
yes, yes.
Yeah. I'm curious about something, Mary Anne, because I know you're not part of the program is an emphasis on protein, and I know you're not eating meat. So I'm curious because there are many other people watching this who don't eat meat for their own reasons, uh, culturally, out of choice, out of an allergy, whatever it is. Um, what adjustments did you make so you will get enough protein, and was that hard for you?
That was a little bit of a struggle for me because you're right. I won't eat meat. Uh, I stopped eating fish for some reason, but I didn't really have an aversion to fish. I had an aversion to. So I was basically eating beans and yeah, just a lot of beans, tofu, but I was still eating the 3 ounces of everything that I had been eating when I was eating all that rice. So that first I decided, okay, I have to uptake that amounts because I'm not eating the rice. I'm eating basically vegetables and tofu or vegetables and beans. And I love them. I really do. So I increased that and I found I had a little more energy, but you did suggest that I did need a little more protein. So I did add cottage cheese, the good one, the good there's Daisy and another Good Culture, the one
Yes,
you
that has
recommended.
clean ingredients. Yes.
Yes, because they only have the milk and the cream and the salt, but they have the live bacteria for the gut. So I added that because I just don't like milk. I don't like eggs. So that helps. And Greek yogurt, the same, just the ones with the good cultures. But the past 2 weeks, I have been experimenting with eating more salmon and more cod. And what was the other one? And shrimp. And that was one of the questions I was going to ask you this week because I've been eating it 3 times a week and I feel a lot more energy. So I have introduced fish back in.
Great.
And I'm just feeling more energy. And again, my portions used to be about 3 ounce, but I found when I did that last week, I was still tired. Not tired, but it didn't give me the energy to last through the day. I'd get that lag in the afternoon. When I increased it to I think it's probably 4 to 5 ounces now, I can go all day. It's the afternoon. I don't get that lag in the afternoon. So that's how this is the experimenting, how you always advise to experiment. It's like you don't have to keep it. You just, you can always go back and experiment. So that's what I've been experimenting with.
Thank you so much for sharing. I really, really appreciate that. And it's good to know that anything can be adjusted. If someone is committed to that process, to their health, even if something is a challenge at first, it's only because it's new. It's not because it's meant to be challenging. So when we embrace that newness and that experience, this allows us to grow and progress and discover something new about ourselves and what we like. And that's so powerful. That stays with us.
And you taught us how to build a baseline to return to, which is huge, because you can it's like, you go out, it's like sending a kid out to experiment, but they can come home to feel safe. And that's what the baseline feels like to me. I can experiment, but I have written out my baseline and I can always come back to it. It feels so comforting. It's safe to experiment. Yeah. I'm not going to go back to the old me. I'm not going to get lost. I have new tools that you gave us to experiment, and life has opened up because I'm willing to experiment. I always felt like I'm rigid. I had to follow everything. This is how controlled and rigid and to feel safe. And that's all just gone. No fear anymore because I trust myself. Thanks to you.
Perfectly said. Not thanks to me. Thanks to you. Bring it back. You knew what you were saying. That's why I
oh.
And Mary Anne, for anyone listening, because you've done all our programs. You've done the Quit Smoking program, the Food Freedom program. You are on the Wellness Masterclass membership. Are those programs the same? Are they different? How was your experience?
Well, they're different because they deal specifically with the issue of quitting smoking, changing relationship with food, and then the wellness. I've only done two, one live and one I listened to in the past. They're transformational. They're helping me continue to grow. So they fit the need. They're all the same in that they create a transformation if you're willing to just follow the program. It's that easy. Just follow the directions. It's not always, I don't mean it's easy. I mean, it's like if you just follow it, the transformation happens. And it's you talk about in the food freedom, the familiarity zones, the comfort zone, the wheel with the comfort zone, the change, and then the growth zone. I always lived in the fear, the comfort zone. Mm-hmm. I would not leave my comfort zone. There was a time I would not leave my house. That's how bad I was. I don't even think of that anymore. It's easy for me to leave my house and go out because I don't want to be in the comfort zone. I don't grow there. So all the programs are transformative and they continue your growth. And I lost 38 pounds since June 30th. And I will be 3 years in May 7th, I believe it is, smoke-free. It doesn't even enter my mind anymore. And that's a 56-year addiction. I would join any of your programs, Nasia. That's how much I trust you and your caring about how these programs are helping people transform. You're not just selling a product, you're helping people grow and transform. How would you, that's just so unusual to me, So that's how I feel. Did that answer your question?
Yes, and you have such an inspiring story, brilliant story. You changed everything.
I'm amazed. Yeah, everything.
And you're 73 now, and
yes.
You're living a new life. It's what you told me before.
Yes.
There was a time where you had no hope for the future, and you felt like things are going down, but now you have a completely different experience of life, and you have the outlook that things are going up. And you quit smoking, a 56-year addiction, like you said, 38 pounds released without dieting. And it's what you said, Mary Anne. It's not that it's easy, because we get challenged.
Yes.
Some friction so we can grow. But it's also not suffering or painful. And it's a process.
That's right. Plus, there's all this support. The support. You were always an email or Facebook. Get on there. There's always an answer within a day.
Yes.
Or within the same day. Nothing you had to sit with or be uncomfortable with or wait. It was just someone was always available. And the group, sometimes you just need to express yourself. So you just, type there and just let it out there. And what you're going to get back is support. So you're not afraid of, somebody giving you some negative comment. Yeah, I don't even want to think negative anymore. It's like that thought, a joker.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a new person. I can see into the 90s, whereas I always thought, okay, pretty soon I'm going to be, just not here anymore. And now I just see myself going into my 90s. I mean, that's just a miraculous thought to me.
Yes. It's everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to that point, Mary Anne, what advice would you give to someone who doesn't feel hope? They feel stuck. They feel like they've tried everything, that they are not able to make a change, that they're waiting for that time later. What would be your advice to that person watching right now?
Oh, I was there, especially with the smoking. I mean, I was there. Just take the leap. I mean, if you wait and you wait, it gets worse and it's worse. And then you hate yourself because you waited. Then you hate yourself more because you're not doing anything. And then before you know it, your mind is poisoning your own body. I really do believe you can will yourself to die. I really do believe that through the negative thoughts. It's like, please, just take the risk. Plus, I mean, your programs, if I recall, you had a money back guarantee or something. I'm not sure about that. So, I mean, if you don't like it, talk to Nasia. You can see she's an honest person, but be honest too, But you will have to make the leap. That no one can do that for you. You have to make the decision to try it. And if you really don't know, remind yourself, okay, if this doesn't work, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. What have you got to lose? And really, I'm proof that there's another way you can have another life. I am proof, absolute proof. So let me think if there's anything else. Let me think if anything else comes to my mind. Yeah, just please take the leap. If you're unhappy with yourself, it's not going to get better unless you just make this one small leap. What's the expression? You can bring a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So It is up to the person. No one's going to take you there by the hand. You have to make the decision. Once you make the decision, the support is there. All the support you need. And I just remembered that when I was in the smoking cessation program, it was like 3 or 4 weeks in, and I'm thinking, 56 years, who am I kidding? I'm not going to get everything else I tried, and I tried a lot. It's not going to work. This isn't going to work. So I just stopped watching the videos. And like within 4 days, I got a message from your team saying, we noticed you stopped watching the videos. If there's anything here we can do for you, please reach out. I was blown away by that. I thought I was in hiding or something and that nobody really cared. And that's when I made the commitment right then and there that I could do this because I wasn't alone. That was huge, Nasia. I cannot tell you how huge that was. That really, that was a biggie. So all I can say is if you're unhappy because you're still stuck smoking, I quit after 56 years with that program. Just make the leap and do it. And all the support is there that you need. If you want to lose the weight and feel alive and feel your body and happy again and feel empowered, take the Food Freedom Program. And then if you really want to just expand your mind and grow even more, join the wellness group. You know, what's next? What are you going to invent next for us, Nasia?
Mary Anne, I am so grateful. Thank you so much for your kind words, but most importantly for sharing your story so openly. Just your example, I know it will inspire and help so many people. And I'm so grateful for your trust and for making the time to be here and share your story. That's incredible. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Nasia. I really just hope it inspires someone and they can have a chance at a new life.